Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. No, Eric did not kidnap anybody. Eric is about 4'2". I would run from Eric and he could not catch me. His legs are too short to catch me. I would run from Eric and he could not catch me. Family, tonight is going to be one of them nights, family. Tonight is going to be a learning night. Tonight we'll be talking about the strange doctrine of the Nation of Islam. Tonight we will be talking about the strange doctrine of the Nation of Islam. Is it practical? Is it reasonable? Should we believe in the logic as given to us, or is it deeper than what it is? So yeah, family, tonight, I'm here. Eric's legs are the size of little people, and he could never catch me. I am pretty fast when the feds get behind me. Trust me, I do not fight people like that. I get out of here. Now, I do want to say I was kind of in the middle of the road of doing this show tonight because of Sister Khadijah Farrakhan. Because I also have a wife that's dear to me, and I couldn't imagine her transitioning and me being here. And so I'm going to take a moment of silence. For Sister Khadijah Farrakhan, the wife of the minister Louis Farrakhan, who passed at the age of 90. Let's take a second for that.
I am not a scholar. I am not a researcher. I am a believer, as the Holy Quran teaches.
Welcome to another edition of Morse World TV. I am your host, Brother Tahaka Bay. Welcome. We in the building, family. I got my coffee. I got my water. And we're about to get busy, family. You know what I mean? I hope y'all doing well. I'm gonna have some t-shirts available. Who gonna support the who gonna support the channel, man? Don't become the content, man. Can I get some sevens when I put the shirts up, man? Come this Monday. I want to put the shirts up, man. We gonna put some pre-orders, man. Come on, man. You can get them by Friday. Don't become the content, man. You got to tell people out in the streets, listen, family, don't be crazy. Somebody might be filming you, and you will become the content. Don't become the content. You know, you got to tell everybody. In the age of TikTok, oh, my goodness. In the age of TikTok, you can become the content. You follow me? I got some things going on. Yeah, in this age of TikTok, you can become the content. You follow what I'm saying? Hold up. I got something going on over here. Hold up. Let me see what I got going on over here. Hold up. Got a lot going on. Uh-oh. 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 Give me 1 second. I gotta do some things. I got some stuff going on here. Hold up. Check 1, 2. Y'all still in the building? Y'all still in the building? Check 1, 2. Oh, man. Let me set myself up right, because they trying to get me look like it. Once again, they back on my heels, Crip. They back on my heels. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. They back on my heels. Give me 1 second. They backed up off me for a minute, and I got comfortable. That's what I did. I got comfortable. Let me hook myself up. Let me hook myself up real quick. I didn't got comfortable. God doggone it. They on my heels again. Okay. Pardon me. Here we go. All right. Make sure everybody's still in the building. I keep hearing these clicks going in and out. That's right. Hold on. Check 1, 2. Are we in the building? I kept hearing these clicks. Y'all was hearing them clicks. They were coming. They were coming. Michigan Mogul, they was coming, man. They don't play by playing but that wheel, man. I'm saying, listen, Tariq Nasheed and that wheel, they don't play about those two things, man. Listen, I ain't gonna talk too much about the wheel tonight, man. I'm for real, man. I ain't gonna talk too much about the wheel. Is that all right? Can you give me a pass so I can just talk about the teachings of the Nation of Islam that don't make no sense, please? Please, the wheel gods, please just give me a pass so I can talk about the teachings of the Nation of Islam that don't make no sense, please. Please. I just want to talk about the teachings that don't make no sense, please. See, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me break this down to you. One of the problems that we have as a people is we are scared to question that which we think we know. And that's a major problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a major problem. Quincy Robinson L., I hope you stay for the whole show, man. I'm about to be teaching something that's pretty decent. The thing is this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad at one time attacked the Moorish Science Temple of America in a way that didn't really seem like an attack. What he would try to do is try to get those followers of Prophet Noble Drew Ali to follow him. And so the way that he would do it is he would do it passive aggressively. He would say that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a good man. However, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not know enough about Islam or what he was doing to bring our people up out of the condition that we face in this side of the globe. The problem with that is Elijah Muhammad would say something like that, and today his followers would question when I question what he taught. How is that fair that one could say that the person that has awakened me and brought me into a new reality, you can say he doesn't know enough, but now a student of his cannot question what you taught? What you mad for? He said what he said. What you mad for? See, the best resolve would be to prove something that the Moorish Science Temple of America teach from the mouth of Prophet Noble Drew Ali wrong. Because what many people would try to do is they try to grab all of this stuff off the internet, and none of that stuff has nothing to do with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. None of it. Whether they talk about oral statements of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, whether they talk about what this person said about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, none of that stuff comes from the mouth of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. None of it. everything that I address comes from the mouth of Elijah Muhammad, whom he connects to Farad Muhammad. I'm not going off what Eric Muhammad says. He's not a scholar.
I am not a scholar.
So I would never go up against and use his words, because he's literally just a follower. He's a robot. He's a mannequin. He's a wooden doll with a hand up his butt. I mean, that's what a puppet is. You know what a puppet is. They put a hand up the puppet butt, and the puppet just do what it do. That's what it is. Pause. I gotta say pause. I forgot. I gotta say pause. The grand sheet gotta say pause. I got pause. I gotta say pause. I forgot. In Harlem, they say you gotta say pause. So pause. But that's what he is. He's just a little puppet with the hand up the. I just want to do my show. And little people on the plane, please just let me do my show. Yeah, do my show, please.
I am not a scholar.
I'm just saying. There's a pause, man. There's a pause. But let me just get to the show, family. So, in this day and age, do we want knowledge or not? In this day and age, do we want real information or not? Are we as a people ready to grow past fairy tales? As I look at the response of former members of the Nation of Islam and some associated members of the Nation of Islam, they are really mad because I am looking into the knowledge of the Nation of Islam. Let me give a major shout out to my guy, Alam Khan, who categorically puts this work together. Now, for me, I have all the books of the Nation of Islam. I have the book of the Reformer. This is the secretary of Master Farad Muhammad. I could do a whole series on this forever. I got this. But Alam Khan, he takes all of that and he compiles it into these beautiful, I just got this in the mail. He compiles it so beautifully where I don't have to go from book to book anymore. And I really appreciate that. When I finish putting my stuff together for the Moorish Science Temple of America, I'm going to do him a solid and send him in the same form that he sent me, because this stuff, man, is priceless. Because listen, I got every book. I really do. I got every book. Every research book. I got a few here. I got them all over the place. You know what I mean? Listen, I've been doing this for so long, I almost got 2 of every book. I've been doing this before the internet. You know what I'm saying? But some people might say, oh, you're doing it for the, I've been doing this before the internet. I got almost 2 of every kind. But to be able to, for example, this is the Supreme Wisdom here, and I also got the Supreme Wisdom here. That he sent me, you know what I mean? And this here. So fam, if you are able to obtain these, the brother right there, Alam Khan Publications is in there, man. If you are able to obtain these, I'm telling you, these are priceless for your library. They are priceless. What it does is it takes you from going from book to book to book to book to book to book, from newspaper to newspaper to newspaper to newspaper to newspaper. He got it in chronological order. Like, yeah, it's official. It's official. With that being said, let me read something out, his expanded version of Supreme Lessons. And I dropped off last show. It was talking about the Indians. Listen to this. I'm going to read real quick. Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever, taught me that the Indians, who are so-called American Indians, are descended from an old ancient people, the black man of Asia, and that part of the country that is known as India. They are by no means modern people. The Indians who are here in the Western Hemisphere are non-American. Therefore, I use the word so-called American Indians. They were captured and subdued by Americans, but this does not mean that they are Americanized. The so-called American Indians, so Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises due forever, taught me, were exiled from the native land of India and people 16,000 years ago. They migrated by walking from the country that is known as India and entered this country by the way of the Bering Strait. Now we know this doesn't jive with history at all. And this is the thing. When you pull this stuff up to brothers in the Nation of Islam, right? They want to start to get into this metaphor and all that. Now, this is taught literal. This is taught literal. This is what it says. Because we're going to get into some lessons tonight. Listen to what it says. It says, they were driven out of India because of their unbelief in Allah and their failure to worship in his true religion, Islam. Now, stop right there. 16,000 years ago, there was no descriptive name called Allah or Islam. There was no, he said they refused to worship Allah. There was no such thing. Now, if he's talking about, as we talk about in the Moorish Science Temple of America, that, but he would have to clarify that. If he's talking about the principle, somebody said, wow, I would say you could actually be a big fan of the NOI. I am a big fan. I am a fan of NOI. Let me tell you why. Because I've never seen a group of people that believe something that they can't substantiate and run with it, defend it, and fight you tooth and nail. I'm a big fan of that. I wonder how someone can formulate a thought, put it on paper, sell it to a people, and the people believe it, and they will fight you tooth and nail without researching it for themselves. I am a fan of researching the mentality that one would develop and defend something like this as opposed to researching. So yeah, I am a big fan. I think it's worthy of research. I think it's very interesting topic that our people will look at something and don't do any research and got a computer at their hand, disposal at their hand in this hour, but they still believe this stuff. I think it's very interesting. I think it should be a case study, and I think you probably that's defending it. You should get a check as a case study. You know what I mean? West Muhammad in that Royal Milk speech he gave. You know what I mean? It should be a case study. Anybody that defends this should be of a case study. Why do you defend this when you can actually research this and make it to be fact or false? Why? Because the way that Elijah Muhammad he tells it as if it's literal. But now, because you can't defend it, now you want to make it metaphorical. But no, this is a history lesson that we're looking at. This is a family. Doesn't this read like a literal history lesson? This don't seem like an allegory. There's nothing about what I just read that seems like an allegory. This seems like an emphatic history lesson. Now tell me where I'm wrong at. You can't. Why are you going to get mad at me because I'm telling you that this does not comply with historical accuracy? I think you should be a study. You should be studied. This is a strange doctrine. It doesn't even comply with the rules of historical accuracy. And you're fighting me. And you're fighting me. Why would you fight me? Because I'm telling you Santa Claus is not real. You should fight the one who told you that Santa Claus was on your roof last night. Don't fight me. You should sit down with mama and daddy and say, Daddy, why would you tell me this? All of these years, I'm 40, 50 years old, and now you got somebody else telling me that Santa Claus ain't real? You got to fight with them, not me. I'm your friend. You know what I mean? I'm your friend. You know what I mean? Let me be your friend, man. Let me see that guy here. I'm your friend, man. You don't want to fight me.
I'm trying to be your friend, man.
I'm trying to be your friend.
I'm trying to be your friend, bro.
Come on, man.
Help me out. Meet me halfway.
Hey.
I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace
I
and
want to
love.
be your friend,
Let me
man.
be your friend. Peace and love. I said you
Mama.
ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. You let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom. Till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail. Another calling us Neanderthal.
Come on,
and
man,
he
let's
all
crank. Let's
pale. I
crank.
mean, for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other.
Welcome to
we
another
can be
edition of
scholarly,
World
but we
TV.
can get gutter. We are the children of one father, and the breast of one mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the bean trying to murk us all. You need to chill, my brother. Tell the elder the same, cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of the law. I want love, not war. Standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that
cook,
might
man.
be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was a
Let's cook. So this is what he says. Okay, all right. That was the Indians, right? That was the Indians. That was the Indians. Let's get into. I'm gonna reference this in a minute. Let's get into this. We're talking about the teachings of the Nation of Islam here today. All right, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're gonna be talking about, family. If you are too sensitive, then this may not be the show for you, because we're going to get in real historical accounts. That's what we're going to get into. Yeah, I know some people don't like it that way. That's fine. It's fine with me if that's what you like. If that's what you like to get angry, I understand. But this is for those who wish to learn a deeper science, historical accuracy, and it is what it is. It is what it is, family. Listen, let's start from the top. All right? Let's start from the top. The Nation of Islam, this religious movement, teaches that white people was created thousands of years ago by a rogue black scientist named Yaqub through the process of accelerated genetic selection, according to NOI doctrine. This new race was exiled to the caves of Europe. Somebody say, so what if it's strange? What is it? Dark side, I would love you to stay for the full presentation so you can understand what I mean by strange. All right? I want you to understand what I mean by strange. I don't mean the typical strange. What I mean is none of this stuff matches with history. All right? That is what I mean by strange. None of it. And you have thousands of people that believe it. Yet the same people that talk about the Catholics, the same people that talk about all sorts of different religions, you know what I'm saying? All sorts of different religions, they don't like to be questioned. But unfortunately, it's their turn to be questioned. You can question the Moorish Science Temple of America whenever you get ready. You know what I mean? With that being said, let's take it from the top. So in the Nation of Islam, Yaqub is a foundational figure. Now I want you to listen to this. And I'm gonna read it slow because this is a lesson we're getting into tonight. Yaqub is a foundational figure according to that doctrine. He was a rogue black scientist born near Mecca 6,600 years ago, who was credited with the creation of the white race through 600-year genetic engineering process called grafting on the island of Patmos. Now, all of this you can find in the doctrine of Elijah Muhammad. For the class tonight, what is the first problematic thing about this? What is problematic first about this? All right, let me help you out. The first thing that is problematic about this, he was born near Mecca 6,600 years ago when Mecca didn't even exist. Family, go Google. See, with me, you can say whatever you want. Listen, Mecca didn't even exist. Do anybody know Mecca didn't even exist 6,600 years ago? It didn't exist. Go Google it. It didn't exist. A place called Mecca didn't exist 6,600 years ago. Go Google it. You got time? I got time. Don't argue with me. Go Google it. This is why we in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we deal with science. So when you look at the questionnaire in the Moorish Science Temple of America and we talk about Mecca, we use a certain language to show you that we're talking about a certain ideal, not a geographical location. But that's a story for another time because we deal with high science. We deal with high science in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Did anybody look at it? Somebody say, who says it didn't exist? Go research, flamethrower. I say it didn't exist. Now go research it. Because I ain't going to let you say the white man said it didn't exist. No, I said it didn't exist. I'm God. If it's God knowledge, I'm God today. The little G, not the big G. I'm the little G. Oh, my goodness. I'm the little G. I said it didn't exist. Now prove me wrong. Because you always want to try to revert to the white man. The white man. No, I said it. I said it didn't exist. Now prove me wrong. Now, because the first thing they want to do, I ain't going to let you use the European for an excuse. I mean, I ain't going to let you. Somebody say, if we're God, then prove it, bro. You want me to prove it to you? I said it. No, hey, did anybody hear what I said? Did anybody hear what I say? I said it didn't exist. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. See what I'm saying? Hey. Do y'all want me to carry on? See, they ain't ready for somebody like me because the first thing they want to use is that, oh, the white man said. No, I said it. I said it. Now prove me wrong. I am going to prove it didn't exist. But we're going to go with the historic account, and we're not going to go by the race code using the historic account. That's it. And you don't get to say, oh, God said it, so it's true. Nah, We're using everything at our disposal. Now, we're using everything at their disposal. You won't get to use the white man as a scapegoat today. You're going to use history to validate and support your claims. Support your claims. That's right. We're going to use history. Now, in early life and discovery, according to NOI teachers outlined heavily in Elijah Muhammad's writing, Yaqub was born in the original Asiatic black nation. He was recognized possessing immense intelligence and having graduated from every university in his nation by the age of 18. There wasn't any university on the record, written record, 6,600 years ago. Why should I have to prove that there's a university on the record 6,600 years ago? You should tell me the university. By the age of 18, he had graduated from every university in his nation. What is the name of it? There was none. This is fantasy. This is fantasy. We can document the oldest university. This is fantasy. Show me the oldest university. Show me the oldest university. You don't get to tell me that furries, you don't get to tell me that 2 furries left me money under my pillow. No. And I just got to believe it. I just got to believe it. Proof comes in time. Yeah, Jesus coming back too. Y'all talk about Christians, but y'all do worse than Christians. Show me the university. I need to know the oldest university. You don't get to just tell me the 2 furry left me some money no more. The proof is in the Bible and the Holy Quran and the message of the black man. Brother, you should be on the show. You should be on the show. You should be on the show. He graduated every university, and you tell me that the proof is in the Bible? What university did Yaqub graduate? See what I'm saying? And you going to fight me? No, you got to fight the one who told you this stuff. Don't fight me, brother. Please, don't fight me. Don't fight me. Fight me. Please don't fight me. Fight me. Don't fight. Okay, here we go. This makes it problematic, right? Yaqub believed he could use this brown germ to breed out the black traits entirely. He gathered followers, began preaching a divisive revolutionary theology in Mecca. Once again, Mecca did not even exist 6,600 years ago. Mecca did not exist 6,600 years ago, family. It just didn't. It just didn't. Even in the region, it talks about how the region around Mecca was nothing about desert. It became a trading post way recently than what we think. Thank you so much, Redemption Song. Thank you so much. Family, the ruling king arrested Yaqub and exiled him along with this is how you can tell something ain't right. They never give names, they never give dates, and they always give something that's very vague. The ruling king. Who is the ruling king? Are you basing it on lunar phases or white man's time? No, I'm basing it on historical accuracy. This sounds like a history lesson. I'm looking in history. I'm looking on the walls of Mesopotamia. I'm looking on the walls of ancient Kemet. I'm looking anywhere that I can find something. It doesn't exist. Don't tell me I'm using the white man. I'm using the right man. That's what I'm using right now. I'm using the right man. We need to see some walls. We need to see some walls, some writings, just like in ancient Egypt, just like in Mesopotamia. What we doing? What we doing? See, this is the problem. If we can't find evidence of civilization from something on a wall, carbon dating or something, it don't matter. Listen. That's an excuse. They didn't know it. So you believe any so brother flamethrower. How are you going to say that Kemet did not know it if you can also say that Abraham traveled to Kemet with his wife Sarah, but Abraham also built the well in Mecca? Nobody knew it. Nobody knew it. They did the well, him and his son, in Mecca, but they also traveled to Kemet, but Kemet and Mecca didn't have any relations. You know what? This is what we need to tell people. The reason why that Santa Claus is real, just because you didn't see it, nobody knew it. It's real though. We just gonna believe it. No. History lessons is not something that you have to believe. It's something that you can confirm or disqualify. That's what history does. History can confirm or disqualify. So, because of his teaching that caused unrest, the ruling king arrested Yaqub and exiled him along with 59,999 followers. Now they was exiled. Pay attention to this story. This is strange. It's strange. Once he exiled them, right, the grafting process would happen, and then Allah permitted the race of devils to rule over the earth for a limited period of 6,000 years. But the period has come to an end for the era of black empowerment. Now, hold up. What crazy deranged. Let me read this. The Brethren of Purity taught the same theology as Master Farad, the Brothers of Purity. Thank you, Richard. We got to look into the Brothers of Purity. Family, let me give you this real quick, family. First of all, you got to understand the circumstances in which a doctrine like this can exist. A doctrine like this can only exist from a people who lack an understanding and a clear concept or a basic clear concept of history. This doctrine can only exist for people who are emotionally driven, that are detached from their intellect, and they begin to think with their emotions. Because of what we have suffered in this sojourn in America, this type of doctrine can thrive without checks and balances, because most people are responding from emotions by the experience that they have endured or our people have endured. So most people are responding with emotions. What merciful God says, you are going to rule over a people 6,000 years. The 6,000-year rule of the Northern Caucasian was taught by Chaldean manuscripts. It's astrological. I think that's what you're trying to say, astrological. Listen to what I'm saying, though. We're saying that God, Allah, out of the clear blue, puts into the heart of one person named Yaqub to sow discord in a place called Mecca that don't even exist. He gets exiled. He creates this devil by gene splicing, and then God says this devil can rule. Oh, I'm sorry. He said, no, it's astrotheology. Okay, thank you, brother. Astrotheology. Okay, I got you. But listen, now this God gives this devil power to rule for 6,000 years over people that don't even have any concern with this devil. What did we do that this God, supposed to be the life giver, the merciful God, now he puts a devil to rule over us for what? For what? He puts a devil to rule. What did we do? What did we do? Remember the story. Remember, Yaqub creates the devil. Yaqub creates the devil. He's sowing mischief in Mecca. The king gets mad, exile them. He creates this devil from gene splicing. Then this devil is released to rule over us. Wow, what did we do? Only emotionally driven people would follow a story like this. Only emotionally driven people can follow a story like this. There is no God in the universe, around the universe, that gives anybody a limited time to rule over you. The only time people can rule over you is when you fall from grace from your divine self. There is no God that gives evil power over you. Evil is an illusion. It's not even real. Let me see what Richard said. Richard says, God Allah oversee cosmic 25,000 year clock. Each house prophet is different things. This is the Persian astrotheology. I got you on that, brother. Won't you come on the show, bro? Won't you come on the show, brother? Yeah, you should be on the show. Somebody say how I'm going to speak for God. Somebody say, do God Allah teach us who we are? Yep. Let me explain. Matter of fact, let me go through my slides and then I answer some questions. Let me go through some slides, then I answer some questions. Let me get to my slide. The timeline, academically, Abraham is traditionally placed around 2000 BCE to 800 BCE, roughly 4,000 years ago. Therefore, even within the framework of religious chronology, a settled written history of Mecca 6,000 years ago does not exist. Let me explain to you what I'm saying. Even the story of Abraham. Thank you for the super chat, everybody. Samurai and my brother Rob. Even the story of Abraham is suspect. The story of Abraham. Oh, Richard said, read all of it. I say, all right, let me open my window up. I couldn't read it all. Let me open my window up. Okay. God Allah oversees the cosmic 25,000 year clock. In each house, a prophet is sent to different populations. This is Persian Arab astrotheology. Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with that. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, we call that cycle ages. In every cycle age, a door flies open. I mean, I don't have a link right now. so we can schedule for another time. But let me listen to what I'm saying. Even the story of Abraham, I can let you call in when I get finished if you're still around. Even the story of Abraham is problematic to a degree because, again, Mecca never exists. And Mecca never exists at that time. Now, the story of Abraham from the biblical perspective is not on trial. Though the Bible could be on trial, that'd be a time for another show. But from the Islamic perspective, you would have to try to figure out, how does Abraham fit in Mecca when Mecca don't exist? And I'm not saying I don't know the answer. I'm just saying that these teachings is a little bit off. If we want to look at the written chronology of history, 7th century, do y'all know what 7th century mean? 7th century CE first mentions the Quran is compiled, providing the first internal written record of Mecca. Do anybody know that? Anybody know that? The first written. Anybody know that? Most Muslims don't pay attention to this stuff. When Muslims start talking about, because I'm about to go in on what's real Islam too. I mean, when Muslims start talking about Noah, and Muslims start talking about Jesus, and Muslims start talking about all of these was Muslims, when they start talking this, do they even know what they're saying? Do they even know what they're saying? Listen, somebody said America didn't exist doesn't mean the land wasn't there. No. According to the historical record, it was barren desert. You can research this up. According to the historical record, the place they called Mecca wasn't even a trading post. Mecca got popular because it became a trading post around the 5th, 6th, 7th century. Around the 5th and 6th century. This is how Mecca became popular. Mecca did not become popular because Muhammad. Mecca was popular before Muhammad. Remember, Muhammad was a trader. Muhammad was one who had a caravan from his wife Khadijah. I mean, yeah. This is how Mecca was. Family, press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Mecca got popular because it was a trading post. And this is how, contrary to popular belief, listen, contrary to popular belief, Mecca in Islam was spread far and wide because all of the traders from Africa and the Far East, there was a trading post in Mecca. This is where everybody met along the way. The spice trade, know what I mean? The spice trade, et cetera, et cetera. I said Mecca was present before. It was a trading post. It was a trading post. And once Islam hit, everybody will hear about Islam because from the Far East all the way to North Africa, they were taking these philosophical ideals back home. And this is how Islam spread. Islam didn't spread by the sword. Islam spread word to mouth. Around the 5th century, but the first written account of Mecca was the 7th century. Let me slow it down for you. If your only evidence in supporting your positive claim is the lack of historical evidence, then you have failed to meet the burden of proof. This guy say This guy say. I said it didn't exist 6,000 years ago. I didn't say it didn't exist in the 5th century. Are you following me, flamethrower? I said 6,000 years ago, it wasn't a trading post. 6,600 years ago, it wasn't a trading post. 6,600 years ago, it was a barren desert. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's a false narrative of history. The Crusades was local. Traders spreaded Islam far and wide. Let me give it again. Somebody say, why would they talk spirituality during trade? Come on, man. Why would they talk spirituality during trade? Because our people was high scientists, philosophers, as it relates to nature, as it relates to religious things. We didn't see religion back then like we see now. Y'all see religion right now with a pope and a book. Religion was word of mouth. It was conceptual religion. It was philosophical religion. There was no book. There was no book called the Quran when Muhammad was in the flesh. There was no book called Hadith when Muhammad was in the flesh. Our people studied the stars. Listen, you got TV. Let me break it down for you, and then I'm going to move on. You got TV, you got internet, you got all of these things, right? So you can be distracted by these things. Our forefathers and foremothers tried to understand how nature works, tried to understand how the universe works. So much of the intellectual conversations was centered around how the universe and the creator of the universe worked. So whether you was a trader, whether you was a nomad, or whether you sat in the village, people talked about how the universe worked. And even the traders, to get from point A to point B, they looked at the stars and seen how the stars was positioned to move on the land. So this is why traders would be talking religion, but it wouldn't be religion as you know it today. Religion then was more centered around cosmology, how things work. Anyway, I said that Mecca did not exist as a place of trade or civilization 66,000 years ago. It just didn't. Listen, if anybody want to do some research the first written language and date it back, and then research the first written language in the region called Mecca. There you go. Anyway, let's get to the point. 6,000 years ago, the specific location where Mecca stands today did not have a recorded proper name because writing had not yet reached the Arabian Peninsula. There are no texts from 4000 BCE to tell us what inhabitants that exact valley. And if you go deeper and look, as of today, that could change tomorrow, but as of today, the term Mecca did not exist. The term Allah did not exist. The term Islam did not exist. And the inhabitants was a valley desolate. All right? 8th century CE, first external records, Mecca begins to appear regularly in non-Muslim texts and global maps. This is the 8th century. This is 2 centuries after Muhammad. 1 century after Muhammad, did you see it? 1 century after Muhammad. So So it would suffice to say Mecca came with Muhammad. From the written perspective, from the word of mouth, maybe the 5th century. But from the historical data, there is none 66,000 years ago. And we're going to prove that in a minute. Let's get into Yaqub. According to the theology of the Nation of Islam, the devil, the white race, was created roughly 6,600 years ago. There is absolutely no written history of Mecca from 6,000 years ago. There is not. I'm going to say it again. There is absolutely no written history of Mecca from 6,000 years ago. In fact, 6,000 years ago, writing itself was only beginning to emerge in the earliest proto-form in Mesopotamia and Egypt. And no written record of any kind existed on the Arabian Peninsula at that time. Go do the research yourself. Go do the research yourself. Go do the research yourself. You got all the research at your disposal. This is the thing. You don't have to take my word for it. This is the thing. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go and research it yourself. I mean, you can go and research it yourself. I'm gonna go here and get flamethrower out here. He don't want to learn. He just want to spam. He ain't bringing nothing to the channel. Yeah, we can get him out of here. I mean, like, you can go, if you're going to dismiss religion because the teacher sounds strange or lack of mainstream historical support, then we have to apply that standard to every religious movement, including the Moors. And guess what, Nepal, that's the standard I use for Moorish science. That's the standard I use for Moorish science. I'm not saying we got to disqualify everything, but if everything is disqualifiable, then everything got to go. Some stuff we won't know. Nepal, listen to me. Listen for me. Some stuff we won't know. But a lot of it we should be able to verify. So the standard I use for Moorish science, 95% of Moorish science I can validate. It's probably 5% that I'm waiting for history to catch up. But what I'm saying with the doctrine right here, none of it you can validate. You see the difference? That's the difference. How are you going to show yourself approved when you can't validate nothing? You can't validate nothing. You can't validate the mother plane. You can't validate Farad Muhammad. You can't validate Yaqub. You can't validate none of the core tenets. Nothing. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You cannot validate nothing. Listen, we're not talking about how many people that the Nation of Islam got off of heroin. I'm not talking about how many people the Nation of Islam got off of crack. I'm not talking about how many people the Nation of Islam got off of Richards and Wild Irish Rose. I'm talking about the theology of the Nation of Islam. And if you don't understand that I'm talking about theology of the Nation of Islam, I'm going to tell you once again. I'm talking about the written record of the theology of the Nation of Islam. Is it real or is it fantasy? The way that Elijah Muhammad gives it to the public, it appears that he is giving it literal. He said melanated people helped them out the caves. No. No. I'll talk about that in a minute, about the Europeans coming into the light. Maybe not Yaqub, but the black man helped them. No. We're going to get into that in a minute. Stand by. We're going to talk about the European in a minute. Because it's not fair It's not fair to disqualify one thing and not give you the truth on the other thing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you the full truth. The teacher master for Muhammad is true. Bring me on your show. All right, I'm gonna show you that it's not true. You're gonna have to prove this wrong first. I've been inviting people to the show. Now, all right, here we go. Writing itself was just beginning to emerge in the early proto-forms in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and no written record of any kind existed on the Arabian Peninsula. Not saying that people didn't do the word of mouth, because our ancestors always did that. But nevertheless, we still would find some type of rock carvings. We would find something. We would find something. But we don't find nothing so far. I could be wrong. Can you validate historically, scientifically, or otherwise reincarnation? I think I can validate it to satisfy me, but it may not satisfy other people. But we're talking about a historical record, brother. We're talking about a historical record, someone talking about a historical record. Reincarnation is not a historical record. We're talking about a historical record. See, this is what they try to do. They try to blur the lines. He said historical, scientifically. No, listen. Reincarnation is not a historical account. But when someone says something happened at this period of time, and they're giving you dates, and they're giving you places, they're giving you names, that's an historical account. And we should be able to look back and validate it, brother. You can't get on here and mix apples and oranges. Is reincarnation a historical account? It's just like the story of Jesus, right? Many people will argue that, did Jesus exist because it wasn't a J in the such and such? Well, there is external accounts of a man named Jesus. The problem with the story of Jesus is that most people do not take themselves out of how popular Jesus is, as it was pushed by Europeans in this day and age. But little do you know that Jesus was a little figure in a community that the world never knew of. And so there wasn't this big rah-rah around Jesus because he was just a little figure in Palestine. And escaped to Egypt from the Roman soldiers. But there is external evidence and accounts of a person exists named Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But his name was not Jesus as we know Jesus, with a J. And so that's a story for another time, but most people don't look at the historical account because they're looking in the wrong places and looking at the wrong things. But that's a story for another time. We can break down Jesus on a whole nother show. You know what I mean? With that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now, according to the story of Yaqub, what he would do is this. When he was exiled, right? When he was exiled from Mecca, a place that didn't even exist at the time, categorically did not exist at the time. When he was exiled out of Mecca, this is what the story said. He would march these 59,000 people. 59,000 people. Do anybody know what 59,000 people look like? He would march them from Mecca all the way to this island connected to Greece, put them on some type of boat, and put them on an island called Patmos. This is what you won't believe. This is what Flamethrower and them believe. That he marched 60,000 people. Did anybody know what 60,000 people look like? 60,000 people. They went from Mecca through Jerusalem, through Antioch. They went all the way up, and they got on some ships, and then went to Patmos. Here we go. Family. This is supposed to be a historical record. Nepal, that's a whole nother conversation. I'll get with you another time. When we talk about reincarnation, we're talking about those who further the thought of those before them. You might be looking at a literal person. Some people do. It's all good. It's all good, brother, but I'm on something else tonight. I mean, you can come on here. Listen, they marched from Mecca, Saudi Arabia, a place that did not exist 6,600 years ago. They marched 60,000 people to this island called Patmos. That's what they did. And this is supposed to be a literal story. Family, do you know what 60,000 people look like, family? Can you imagine marching 60? Like, we in reality. Are we in reality or are we in fantasy? Can you imagine marching 60,000 people? 60,000 people? No one resists. I guess some of them did. But however, they all get to Patmos 6,600 years ago. This is what we're supposed to believe. This is supposed to be a part of the redemption story. Do y'all know the distance between Mecca, Patmos? Come on now. Are we living in fantasy or what? Are we living in fantasy or living in reality? It's time for us to wake up. This is why people can take advantage of us, because we do not question and we do not critically think. If one that look like you can make you believe stuff that you should be critically thinking about, and you know in your heart of hearts that it doesn't make sense, but you make it make sense, anybody can take advantage of you. Anyone. But that's the story. Now, then, this is an article coming out of, I think it's the University of Missouri. I got the link up in here somewhere. But listen to this. Now, here's the shocker. And you can take it or leave it. And we have to use common sense. You can take it or leave it. You have to use common sense. You don't get to tell me anything. Bunnies don't lay eggs. And nor do you get to march 60,000 people 6,600 years ago. Most of us think of Europe as the ancestral home of quote-unquote white people. But a new study shows that pale skin, as well as other traits such as tallness and the ability to digest milk as adults, arrived in most of the continent relatively recently. Let me move this out the way so I can see it. Let me move myself out the way. Family, we in class tonight. I want you to think critically, family. I want you to think critically. Relatively recently, the work presented here last week at the 84th annual meeting of the American Association of Physical Anthropologists offers a dramatic evidence of recent evolution of Europe and shows that most modern Europeans don't look much like those of 8,000 years ago. Listen what I'm saying. Many people many people want to try to say the white man, the European this, the European that. But let me tell you something, family. These type of studies here is not even Europeans trying to validate themselves or disqualify anybody. Most archaeologists, most anthropologists in this day and time, they have the same stuff that anybody else have, and you can go look at it, you can compare it, you can do whatever you got to do to come to a conclusion. So all you have to do is take the information and see if it makes sense. You don't have to take the information and run with it. The origin of European has come into sharp focus in the past year as researchers have sequenced the genomes of ancient populations rather than only a few individuals. By comparing key parts of DNA across the genomes of 83 ancient individuals from archaeological sites throughout Europe, the international team of research reported earlier this year that Europeans today are a mix of blending of at least 3 ancient populations of hunter and gatherers and farmers who moved into Europe in separate migrations over the past 8,000 years. The study revealed that massive migrations of the Yamna herders from the steppes north of the Black Sea may have brought Indo-European languages to Europe about 4,500 years ago. Now watch this, right? It's very important to understand this. Like I said, you can take it, you can run with it. Now, a new study. One second. Now, a new study. You can take it or leave it. Now, a new study from the same teams drills down further into that remarkable data to search the genes that were under strong natural selection. Anybody know what natural selection is? Natural selection. The Moorish Science Temple of America, we teach about natural selection, where a group of people separate themselves and the environment begins to work on camouflaging them into the environment, or they take on the environmental particulars that come with the environment. Anyway, Europe in the past 8,000 years, by comparing ancient European genomes with those of recent ones from 1,000 Genome Project populations. Geneticist Ian Matheson, a postdoc at Harvard University Lab of Population Geneticist David Rich, found 5 genes associated with genes changes in diet and skin pigmentation that underwent strong natural selection. Now, let me explain this to you. Although you have these doctors and geneticists and all that, they're confirming that Europeans come from us. See, this is the thing right here. This is the thing. They are confirming that Europeans come from us, right? You feel me? Let's keep it going. Listen, I invite people to my show. They just don't show up. Don't try to invite yourself now. I mean, I invite y'all to my show. Just show up. When it comes to skin color, the team found patchwork of evolution in different places. And these separate genes that produce light skin, telling a complex story for how European skin evolved to be much lighter during the past 8,000 years. The modern humans who came out of Africa to originally settle Europe about 40,000 years are presumed to have had dark skin. What's the problematic thing about Yaqub? Family, did y'all hear? What's problematic about this? If Yaqub created the European 6,600 years ago, listen, if Yaqub created the European 6,600 years ago, then how we get 40,000 years of the first migration according to carbon data? These are not European. Listen, these are not Europeans trying to whitewash a story. In fact, they're saying that they come from us. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying, family. These geneticists, these scientists, they're saying that they come from us. So they're not whitewashing the story. Like, we got to use common sense. So according to the Yaqub story, there were no Europeans 6,600 years ago prior to 6,600 years ago. Somebody said they're not confirming what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says. Elijah Muhammad said the white man was created 6,600 years ago. What do you mean? See, this is how y'all cookie cut. When y'all see a European see a spaceship, you say that's the mother plane. When y'all see a Chinese person see a spaceship, y'all say that's the mother plane. No. You don't get the cookie cut. This saying that the European development began to start over 40,000 years ago. This doesn't say that the European emerged 6,600 years ago. In fact, they actually get it closer to, it says, the modern humans came out of Africa, originally settled in Europe about 40,000 years ago, and are presumed to have dark skin, which is advantageous in sunny latitudes. And the new data confirms that 8,500 years ago, earlier hunter-gatherers in Spain, Luxembourg, and Hungary also had darker skin. They lack versions of two genes. Listen to this. They lack versions of two genes, SLC24A5 and SLC45A2, that lead to depigmentation and therefore pale-skinned Europeans today. They're talking about natural selection. They're not talking about somebody splicing genes. They're talking about environmental processes that turns a brown bear into a polar bear. They're talking about how a red fox turns into a polar white fox. They're talking about how a brown dove turns into a white dove. That's all they're talking about. That's all they're talking about. When you change the environment, you change the structure of those in the environment. Somebody say natural selection is not a European science. I said that they from us. That's not Darwinism. That's all right. Let me listen. Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna explain this to you, and you can take it or leave it. What Europeans does to confuse people is what we see in what they call so-called black religion. Whether you believe it or not, it's on you. What they do is they take a gumbo of information and they confuse the information and make you pick and choose with confusing information. But a European did not create natural selection. I mean, a European did. Somebody say out of Africa theory is a Darwinism. That is not a Darwinism. We got the listen. If you have the oldest fossils of human beings found in Africa, then it begs the reason that people originate on the continent what we know to be Africa. That is not Darwinism. That's just research. That's just research. If you can find carbon data of someone somewhere else on the planet, then you can move the mark. But if you can't find fossils, human beings fossilized somewhere else in a part of the earth, then you can't move the benchmark. You can't do it. They found older mummies in America, brother. That's not true. That's not true. The oldest fossil found right now is from Morocco, North Africa. It's not America. That's a lie. That's pseudo. That's pseudo. Google it yourself. What is the oldest? It's in Morocco. The oldest is in Morocco. No, and that's very recent. No, it's not America, my friend. Rasuel, no. That's pseudo. That's pseudo. That doesn't agree with history. That doesn't agree with research. No. It's Morocco. It's not even in the Nile Valley. It's Morocco. So stop with your pseudo-ness. Stop with your pseudo-ness. But back to my point. I hope y'all understand the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make is that Europeans exist before the story of Yaqub. The proof researchers sequenced the genomes of 7 hunter and gatherers from ancient Scandinavia. Unlike their southern European counterparts of the same era, these northern individuals carried the derived light-skin variant for both major pigmentation genes, SLC 24C5. In fact, let me give you the source. Let me give you the academic source so you can check it out for yourself. This proves my point. This proves my point that Europeans exist before the story of Yaqub. That's the only point I'm making. Why am I making this point? Because the Yaqub story is fantasy. There is no man marching nobody up on to an island called Patmos and splicing genes. We're not ready to let that go. For real. You're going to be mad at me because I'm telling you that there is a science to verify how Europeans come into existence. And it agree with common sense. You really believe somebody is sitting on an island playing with little experimental vases with genes? That's what you really believe. You really believe that? Come on, man. These type of teachings was to appeal to our emotions because the European had treated us so greasy. And they appeal to our emotions, but it doesn't appeal to science. No. True and living God. I said they start off dark skinned. Why do people always say something I'm not saying? Why do they? True and living God said the same. The study said that those Europeans was dark skinned. Exactly. They had to be dark skinned. I said that. I said they was dark skinned. I said there was not no scientist splicing any genes on an island of Patmos with 60,000 people as specimens. I said that nature took its course. That's what I said. Nature took its course. No, the same way it takes its course. Hold up, let me look this up real quick. Give me a second. Let me show you something real quick. I think it's the brown bear. Watch this. Nature acts the same way with humans and everybody. 1 second. I want everybody to try to Google, if you got a second, about brown bear. I think it's the brown bear and polar bear. Why is it doing that? Hold up. I got things going on with my thing, man. They ain't acting right. All right, let me go to another one. Let me get to the brown bear and polar bear. And you will find how it's transitioning from one to the other. The same thing happens with human beings. The same thing happened with the same thing happened with Europeans. I mean, brown bear turns, and I'm just doing this on the fly. Polar bear. I'm just doing this on the fly. Hold up. All right. This is what it says. In fact, I just did this on the fly, but I'm going to share it with you real quick. All right. Here we go. Let me show you. So you won't think it's just talking about human beings. No, this happens in nature. Here we go. There we go. And I just did this real fast. I just did this real fast. Polar bears evolved from brown bears through a combination of geographic isolation, rapid adaptation, and strong natural selection. You follow what I'm saying? Somebody said the burden of proof is on me to show and prove that. Yakub never exists, brother. You can believe whatever you want, brother. Believe whatever you want. This is for those who want to take our people to the next level so we can compete and going in space and we can compete in real things. You know what I mean? If you want to believe, Nepal, if you want to believe that a big-head scientist spliced genes of 60,000 people and created Europeans, quote-unquote, white people, then go ahead, brother. But the newer generation, we're going to come in looking at science through a whole new lens. We're going to come in competing for the resources. We're going to come in maybe competing to get in aeronomics. We're going to come in getting to things that make sense, not things that deal with fantasy that stunts our intellectual growth. If you want to believe that, brother, you're probably 50 or 60 years old. Go ahead, take it to the grave with you. But these type of shows are not for you. If you want to believe in stuff like that, brother, by all means, take it to the grave with you. But this is not the show for you. This is for those who want to compete with the Elon Musk. This is for those who want to compete with the scientists at Harvard. This is for those who want to compete with the scientists at Princeton. This is for those who that if they put it in their mind and they bring it out their loins into their children, it might be in their DNA and they may go to a step further. But if you wish to believe that somebody marched somebody from Mecca to Patmos, brother, by all means. If you believe that there's a floating planet hovering over Earth, ready to kill all white people, then, brother, by all means, enjoy your journey, brother. This is not for you. I mean, this is just not for you. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to believe, you know what I'm saying? You're fine to believe whatever you want to believe, brother. But this just not going to, this show ain't going to make you feel good, because this is for people who are intellectually sound and that will be willing to Google and challenge and research to see if it makes sense. But you're not willing to do that. The only thing that you want to pick up is the message to the black man, and you want to confirm it with supreme mathematics and supreme wisdom. That ain't how we do things over here. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how we do things over here. We're going to do it. If it's a historical story, then we're going to try to confirm the historical accuracy and the historic account. Because remember, he said that Noble Drew Ali did not know enough. Remember that. Well, you can have that he didn't know enough, but his student know what he taught, and now I know enough to know that you've been bluffing our people. I know enough. I know enough. No. Don't say it's not literal, Pookie Trump. Pookie Trump. When someone tells a story that somebody marched somebody from one geographical location to another, what is the allegory in that? Break it down for me. Break it down for me. What is the allegory in saying that? Why would not just say that it was natural selection? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Why we got to make up a big head scientist in conjunction with 24 scientists, 12 minor, 12 major? Why we got to make up all that? Is the 12 minor and the 12 major literal? Is the 12 minor and 12 major? Because if the 12 minor and the 12 major is literal, then marching people from Mecca to Patmos is literal. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. You pick and choose what you want to choose. The difference between you and I and anybody that you have this conversation with, I've studied this just as much as you have. And I tried to make sense out of it because I don't want to disparage my brothers. I don't want to disparage my sisters. But I do want them to critically think, because without critical thinking, we cannot compete with the world at large. We cannot. The world at large, European Christians, they tell you they believe in Jesus. They tell you that you're going to burn in hell, but they do everything possible to give you hell right now, because they're not worried about a hell underground, because they know it doesn't exist. But they give you hell right now because they're not worried about hell underground. And so while they got the people believing in fantasy, they administer ill treatment to you and not worrying about repercussions. You know what I'm saying? They worry about the repercussions on their soul as they go through life. They're not worrying about repercussions when they die. You know what I'm saying? But you believe in fantasy. And that's how we be lagging behind. We the only people on the planet Earth, us here in America, us, quote unquote, black people in America, who lags behind in such a way intellectually as it relates to religion that the world can take advantage of us. This is why many of us join Islamic groups and they become Arabs overnight. They become Arabs overnight. Everything they say, Wali wa salam, they do all that as if God cannot speak in any language that you dream in. As if God is exclusive to one language. As if God is exclusive. As if this little weak God, it got to be a weak God to be exclusive to one language. Got to be. The God that created the heavens, the earth, the moons, and everything in between. The microscopic animals, the microscopic bugs. Now he is exclusive to one language. You got to either learn Hebrew or learn Arabic. He can't speak to your heart in English because you've been enslaved in English. And he's barred from talking to you in English. He's barred from reaching you in English. He can't do that because guess what? The slaveholder got more power than God. So he got to speak to you in Arabic. He got to speak to you in Hebrew. He got to speak to you to all these colored languages because guess what? That's his language that he chose. As if God ain't the creator of it all. But this is just silly talk. This is why we lag behind. Because the world tells us one thing and then they do something else. And we believe what that world tells us. I mean, we believe what that world tells us. See, a Muslim in the East say that Muslims is one big ummah, one big community, that all Muslims, you know what I mean, come on, GS, you're not doing a good work of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This Islam you're doing is not Islam. Hey, whatever you talk about, brother, you can come on for a debate or you can fall back. What I'm saying, most people that talk about Noble Drew Ali don't even know Noble Drew Ali's work. So don't even talk about what I'm doing. Anyway, nowhere in Elijah Muhammad teaches that he says Yaqub marched from Mecca to Patmos. No. This is what I'm saying. Okay, listen. Where did the splicing take? See how they play games? I'm about to block him too, because he's a distraction. I'm about to block him too. He don't want no smoke. I'm about to block him too. He says, where in Elijah teaching? He just picking for straws now. And I'm gonna bring it on the screen so you can see it, and then I'm gonna block him. Listen, this is how they get shook up. Then I'm gonna block him because he's just silly. All right, check this out. Hold up. Then I'm blocking him. Let me show you what he just said. This is what he said. Let me read to what he just said real quick. Nowhere in Elijah Muhammad teaches does he says Yaqub marched from Mecca to Patmos. What disinformation? Family, if he was exiled from Mecca, and he did the splicing in Patmos, how did he get there? Oh, the mother plane took him. My bad, I'm wrong again. If he was exiled from Mecca. Mind you, that didn't exist 6,600 years ago. How did he get to Patmos? What misinformation? What disinformation? How's that disinformation? How he get there? They just appeared? 60,000 people like I Dream a Genie? And they just appear? How he get there? This is when you tell they suffering. They suffering and grabbing for straws. They either march, they walk, they flew, they got on a magic carpet, the mother plane picked them up. How did they get there? Come on, man. These people grab for straws. The brother is running. No, brother, this is not running, brother. You giving a dumb argument, brother. And it's sad. And it's so sad. It's so sad that you give this silly argument. Somebody say you don't know what supreme mathematics is. I just told you. I have all the lessons, right? And Ben had them. What are you talking about? What is supreme about the supreme mathematics? There's nothing supreme about them. I'm sorry. There's nothing. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, freedom, equality, God, build, destroy, born, cipher. What's supreme about this? What's supreme about this? Like, come on, please. No disrespect. I'm just saying, let's get to the knowledge. What is supreme about it? I can tell you where the mathematics came from a Moorish perspective. But that's just a doctrine. That's nothing supreme. There is no redemption qualities knowing supreme mathematics. What is the redemptive qualities? Let me drag this guy and block him too. This guy says, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was about uplifting fallen humanity, GS. You want to debate people you deem as fallen humanity. Let me say something to you. Shams, let me explain something to you. Whenever a person comes to wake our people up, they are always going to be opposition that don't want to be awakened. There is no prophet, seer, a follower of prophets who brings truth that is agreeable with the masses. None of them. So when you teach raw truth, you can expect majority of people to be upset because they're comfortable in the lie. See, don't speak about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, my brother, because you don't know nothing about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You know how many people was mad at Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Because he came and told them something that they wasn't used to and they was comfortable in a lie? You know people was mad at, if you believe in Jesus, you know people was mad at Jesus because he came and told them something that was against the comfortable lie that they was with? You know how many people was mad at Muhammad? So don't try to tell me I'm not teaching what Prophet Noble Drew Ali teach. No, you're supposed to get mad. The truth that wakes you up from your comfortable lie is supposed to get you mad. I ain't supposed to be agreeable just to be your friend. Nah. I gotta be agreeable to be your friend because I don't need your friendship. I need you to wake up and be a part and parcel of getting us up out of this condition because these lies has not helped us. Even the lies that had came through the doors of those who say that they was members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. None of these lies, whether it be Moorish, whether it be Sunni, whether it be NOI, whether it be Christian, none of them has helped us. So we have to address the lies in order to move forward. And on this show, we're addressing misinformation that cannot be verified, qualified, or even quantified. We can't verify this stuff. And this stuff we supposed to teach this to our little baby? We supposed to teach our baby that some big-head scientist went across a desert and spliced some genes and made a European to rule over us for 6,000 years. I'll be daggone it. You know what I'm going to teach my babies? Listen, we got to get right. We fell from our divine self. And when we fall into our lower nature, any person can control us. When we fall for our emotional response in life, any group of people can control us. And when masses of people fall into their lower nature, they become enslaved by someone who else has not fallen that, or someone that see a kink in the armor to take control, and they use you at their disposal. That's what I'm going to tell my children. I'm going to tell my children that you need to tighten up your divine self. You need to tighten up your God self, because if you tighten up your God self, no one can rule over you. No one can rule over you. No one can enslave a God. No one can enslave a god or goddess. No one can enslave a nature. What are you talking about? You can only be enslaved if you lose yourself to your lower self. That's my message. My message is nobody give the power of some other group of people to dominate me for 6,000 years. Ain't no God in the universe gives nobody the control to dominate another group of people. The group of people fall off. Kingdoms rise, kingdom fall. It's the group of people that fall from off point. I mean, you got the will to choose. You got the will to stay in your divine state. You got the will. It just don't happen. These things happen by circumstances that we put forth. So we gotta break the spell. We gotta break the spell. And we never let our own kind to tell us a story that's similar to the story that Europeans told us. The Europeans tell us about the Easter Bunny that we can't confirm. The Europeans tell us about Santa Claus. We can't confirm. The Europeans tell us about a fat naked baby flying in the air to help find love. The Europeans tell us these crazy stories. And then we just take other crazy stories and put quote unquote black faces on them. And because it come from somebody that look like us, we act like it's legitimate. No. I ain't telling my baby none of this mess. I ain't telling my baby that Prophet Noble Drew Ali got lost in the pyramids, and I'm sure I ain't telling my babies that a European that came from Arabia come to save my people. No, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't telling the phenotype of a European as coming to save my people from themselves. No, I ain't doing it. And then it don't even match. It's not even about the European sometimes. It's about the history do not add up. Master Farad Muhammad. Let's take the story. Master Farad Muhammad. His father was a black man. He goes into the hills of Europe and marries what they call a devil, a European. He marries a devil and he impregnates the devil so he can have a light baby. And then the baby comes here to save black people, quote unquote black people, which is his uncle, you know what I'm saying? To save black people from the very people that he impregnated. And we run with that? And he had to dress like that so he can slide into America. And we got to run with that? We got to run with that. Because we can't believe someone that look like us. Because in 1930, we only believed white people. So we had to have somebody to look white. What? Do anybody understand all the leaders that was around in the 1800s right after slavery? Before the Reconstruction? Like, that's an excuse to worship Europeans. That's an excuse. All of the thinkers right after slavery, during slavery. And we got to believe a person because he got the phenotype of a European? And you want to fight me because I don't want to believe that? You want to cuss me out because I do not buy that. I do not buy it, and you want to cuss me out. I do not buy that a European came from Saudi Arabia to save us. I do not buy it. Somebody say I'm changing the story. What I change about the story? Help me out if I'm changing it. What I change? What I change, brother? What did I change? What did I change? And I'm saying that none of it adds up in history. None of it adds up. You can't find this nowhere. You can't find a passport from W.D. Fard Muhammad. You can't find, like, how do W.D. Fard Muhammad come from being a prophet and then the next thing he's God in the person? Oh, he said, don't tell nobody. All of these excuses. Like, I'm just saying we need to wake up. I mean, if you choose to believe, you can believe whatever you want. But there's a new generation waking up, family. There's a new generation waking up. And this new generation ain't going for none of that. I mean, see, let me tell you something. This new generation, they're going to question everything. They will look at Elijah Muhammad and they will question him. That's right. It's a new generation. They will question him. They will ask, is he from the soil? And guess what? They will do the research. And they hope it match up. And you better hope it match up. What we got so far, it does matches up. But as time go on, you might find something else. Will you be able to make the shift if you find something else? See, the problem with us as a people, when we do research and we find something that disagrees with what we have studied or what we've been taught, we don't make the adjustments. Other people, real scientists, real people who do real research, when they see something that's different, they are able to make the adjustment. We get lost in the sauce because if we find something new in our research, we won't make the adjustment. In fact, we'll try to hide it in the back of our mind. Act like we didn't just see it. Like, I know most people, if you're not rational. You know what I mean? Somebody say this story is just believable as the Circle 7 was divinely prepared. Both are questionable. Do you know what divinely prepared mean? There is no far-fetched stories in the Holy Quran and the Moorish Science Temple of America. None. Do you know what divinely prepared mean? How could someone look at a portrait of Prophet Muhammad and say Allah came in that personage? Exactly. Let me tell this person about the majority of the Quran and the Moorish Science Temple of America is wisdom. So when you're talking about divinely prepared, it's talking about marching orders towards wisdom. It's using your intellectual mind to get yourself right, to go from your lower self into your higher self. How is that questionable? Did you even read the Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America? How's that questionable? Most of it is wisdom. Let me give you an example. I got it right here. I keep it on deck. Let me give you an example. I'm going to just bust the book open. Look at that. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, I'm going to just bust it open. Any page. This is duty of a husband. This is what it says. Check it out. Take unto thyself a wife and obey the ordinance of a law. Take unto thyself a wife and become a faithful member of society. Listen to it. But examine with care and fix not suddenly. On thy present choice depends thy future happiness. Stop right there. Let's break it down in plain English. Take unto thyself a wife. Find yourself a wife and obey the ordinance of the universe, the universal creator, the ordinance of Allah. Which means when we talk about the ordinance of the law, the laws of God, the laws of the universe. God, universe is synonymous when things are in harmony, right? Take unto thyself a wife and be a faithful member of society. Participate in how society works, of which society you're a part of. And we're not talking about the American society. But hey, if you're a part of that, then be a faithful member of that society if you want to. But examine with care. Examine with care. And fix not suddenly. On thy present choice depends thy future happiness. Stop right there. What I'm saying is, your present choice depends your future happiness, right? That goes in picking a wife, that goes in picking a job, that goes in picking your friends. Fix not suddenly. Fix not suddenly. In other words, don't choose friends so fast. Don't choose jobs so fast. Definitely don't choose a wife so fast. Because thy future happiness depends on your present choice. That's wisdom. The whole majority of 95% of the Holy Quran or the Morning Science Temple of America either have stories or wisdom laid out like that. How can that be fraud? How could that be fraud? Well, it's giving you wisdom to walk through life. How could that be fraud? So no, that's not the same. Somebody, Cam say, your moderators blocked me. You need to watch your squad. They will cross too. Come on, man. I ain't even see Cam say nothing. I didn't see Cam say nothing wrong. Wow, bro, sometimes Cam, this thing do its own thing too. It do its own thing too. Yeah, I ain't even see you say nothing. I watch the chat all the time. I got a big old screen right here. I see everything going on. See these big jokers scanning. But look, real quick. Let me get into this last segment real quick. Anyway, the point that I'm making is that Europeans been around, according to science, longer than 66,000 years. You hear what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Hold up. Europeans, according to carbon data, Europeans have been around longer than 66,000 years. All right. This is what I'm trying to say to you. If you go and do your own research, you will find that Europeans have been around longer than 6,600 years, I mean to say. The Nation of Islam says that Europeans would develop the beginning started 6,600 years ago. Hey, family. Do anybody watch my shows? Thank you so much for the super chat, Cam. Yeah, man, I ain't see Cam say nothing wrong. But family, hey, family, walk with me real quick before I get into this last segment. Family, anybody watch my shows to go back and double check the things that I say? Press 7 if y'all double check the things that I say as it relates to research. At least a quick Google search. Anybody? Press 7. Anybody? Because I encourage you to do that. Now, what you see on the screen is an AI rendition of the possible stages. But the whole point of the matter is 6,600 years ago, according to science, that have been studied about the pigmentation of Europeans as it relates to geographical isolation. 6,600 years do not add up. So the story of Yaqub would have to be allegory. That's it. It would have to be. Thank you, family. And I encourage you to go and do the research because you want to teach your family. You want to teach your family the facts. Let me show you this, fam, before I get out of here. This is another bizarre thing. Listen to this. This is the last thing I'm gonna bring up. We got Dr. Melchizedek over here tomorrow. The high priest supposed to be here tomorrow. We're gonna see if he can get on here tomorrow. But listen to this, family. Family, please listen to this bizarre stuff right here. Let me break this down, family, and then we're going to get out of here. Peep this out. Crypto, you still here, man? Look at this here, man. Listen. Speaking about the mother plane, it says the small planes carry 3 bombs each. They also shoot flames. So listen, we're talking about this big spaceship, right? We're talking about this big spaceship. Listen to this. Her contents, according to whose science, the same science making clone meat, the small planes carry 3 bombs each. They also shoot flames of fire. Number 9. Her contents are 1,500 small circular planes, as the devil calls them, flying saucers. This is Elijah Muhammad words. Listen to this, though. This mothership. Thank you, Cam. Peace, God. This mothership is supposed to be 1.5 miles by 1.5 miles in diameter. You follow me? It carries 3 small planes. It carries small planes, 1,500. With 3 bombs. The bombs of the small planes weigh 2 tons each. That means 1,500 planes that's on this massive 1.5 mile by 1.5 mile long, carrying 1,500 planes. They got 3 bombs and each weigh 2 tons each. $1,500. Wrap your mind around that. And what's happening? They are designed to drill into the earth upon contact and drill from 1 to 6 miles through stone rocks and explode, destroying civilization. Now stop right there. If the mother plane is flying over the United States of America to destroy the Europeans, right? But in this layout, Elijah Muhammad says they're designed to drill in the earth to destroy civilization. Wouldn't that mean we gone too? That sounds like a suo mission. Wouldn't that mean we gone too? If you're flying over the United States to destroy the European, but you're going to drop something 6 miles into the earth through stone and rock to explode, destroying civilization, or any living matter of life within 50-mile radius. After the bombs explode, a poisonous gas is found to snuff out the remaining life, if any still exists. He's talking about taking us out too. Family, are you listening to me? According to what Elijah Muhammad said, this is talking about taking us out with the European. This is not just talking about taking the European out. The purpose, number 16, the purpose of the mother plane is to destroy the most wicked place ever to be on the planet Earth, anytime, America. That means we got to go too. But y'all ain't got to worry about that. This is all made up. You ain't got to worry about that. This is a suo mission here. Oh, no. Listen to what this say. Her position is 40 miles out from Earth's sphere. She holds this position from 6 to 12 months at a time. When this time is up, the mother plane comes into the atmosphere. This is what it says. 5K rounds of whatever and gas masks for the words. Now, you can't avoid this. Elijah Muhammad said you can't avoid this, Cam. This is what it says. The mother planes come into the atmosphere to take fresh air for our brothers inside, then retakes her positions. At the dropping of bombs, the flame will reach 12 miles in direction. When destruction comes, listen to this, Cam. You can't survive this, Cam. Number 20, when destruction comes, America will burn 390 years and take 610 years to cool off. They're taking us all out.
Certified boogeyman.
Did you hear what it go? Cam, listen. The mother plane taking everybody out. Everybody got to go. Listen. What type of religion is this? That when it struck, it's going to take the whole America. That means you too. You got to go too. And then it's going to burn 390 years. And it's going to take 610 years to cool off. We are doomed. We are doomed.
Certified boogeyman.
We are doomed, Cam. Oh, my God.
Certified boogeyman.
The Strange Doctrine.
Certified boogeyman.
Check 1, 2. Oh, my God.
We're going to speak the truth, regardless of whether you like that truth or not. We're in the 21st century. How people are poor, hungry, ragged, naked, and out of doors. How people are being murdered on a daily and consistent basis.
It's been a long time. I should have left you. A couple weak frauds that crept through. He put the bean on me. I didn't neglect you. Time's up, allow me to bless you. To yell reparations and he got your attention. A failed clown rapper, claim he was pimping. What you don't know, he was a fed since 9-0. Cosmo Fleck was a front for 5-0.
You can't get dropped in a pit of snakes
Certified boogeyman.
and trying to figure out which one has the venom sac.
Certified
This
boogeyman.
tongue, this one is not
Certified
poison.
boogeyman.
FBA laughed when he went to the Romans. I guess they don't understand, that's you own them. Lying on GS, claiming I stalked them. That ain't true, cause if it was, I'd have chalked them. I'm simply a blogger, researching for the family. Cause people look like me, continue to scam me, continue to scam us in the name of liberation. But when you call them out, they claim that you hate me.
Certified boogeyman. Certified boogeyman.
Yeah.
Certified boogeyman.
Come on.
Certified boogeyman.
I'm back like I left something, and you kept fronting sick the peens on me, but they ain't really stopping nothing. How you say you slap a man and go get a peace order? Something they ain't adding up. I'm swimming in the deep waters. Time to take a deep dive, see who you really are. Who named you Tariq Nasheed? Affiliated with the guns? Nah, you ain't a Sunni or the nation, but ain't nobody question why you perpetrating. See, early in the 90s, they put you on a mission. Hip hop was conscious, you came with something different. Goofy clown rap, it took it off track, but you was so whack, nobody followed the act. So they made another character, turned into a thug. From Cosmo to K-Flack, but still got no love. Album with Wood, it was trash, no good. You was hit.
family.
Thurman Smart, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Thurman Smart. Starlight, Crypto, Cam.
Yes, sir.
The twins.
I said the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50, they thought they catch me in Cali. Smack me up with some charges. If I was 25, I probably would have stuck them up regardless. On the run from the feds, because that boy is a fed. And this was back in the day, I put a price on his head. You wanna swing on the guard, you little swindling frauds. With the feds on the block, the roof, and in the car. Now I'm a little smarter, I live to fight tomorrow. I refuse to let you leave me to slaughter, you little punks. I got children to raise, I got people to uplift. Your intentions is to enslave my people in grift, and at the same time snitch on anybody suspicious. You're a government witness and they just changed your name. Gave you a new identity, location, and fame. But we know who you are, you can't hide no more, Marcus. It's coming to light what you done did in the darkness. Been an agent for years, yeah. Back in 91 you infiltrated the
What up, Sounds of Music?
Cosmo Flex, your job is done. The feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I said the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling
What
like
up,
50.
Demetrius Manningham?
Watching
And
informants
Manning
plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I said the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I said I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like watching. They say I'm trolling like 50. I said the feds is watching, informants plotting to get me, cause I'm exposing these frauds. They say I'm trolling like 50. I got the heart of Muhammad and the wisdom of Ali. I never say why me, instead I say why you. Didn't heed the warning, you know how I do. Destroy them devils, cause the devil's a punk. I'm the manifest of God, star crescent and unk. And use a Twitter revolutionary way to get hacked. I say I got smacked, sitting in front of your compact. I'm boots on the ground, 10 toes down out west. I could've called on my people and pulled up to your rest. And your gated community is your federal prison. Don't think that we don't know how you really living, we got you. Sit the feds is watching, informing, plotting to get me. I said the feds is watching, informing, plotting to get me. I said they plotting to get me. I said they plotting to get me. Come on.
Where we at? That's right.
I am not a scholar.
Come on,
I
man.
am not a researcher.
Come on,
I am
damn
a believer.
family.
As the Holy Quran teaches.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's about that time. It's about that time, y'all.
I am not a scholar. I am not a researcher. I am a believer. As the Holy Quran teaches.
Email me, Cam. Email me, talkabout@gmail.com. Come on, man. Throw something down. Send me a verse. I got you.
Pan-African or perish.
I am not a scholar. I am not a researcher. I am a believer. As the Holy Quran